I just celebrated my birthday. I am officially 65 years old as of last week. Can't believe it. I feel like I did when I was 35. And I do remember what I felt like and what I was capable of when I was 35. I remember my workouts way back then, how much I could push. And I can still pretty much do the same because I never stopped. And that is key. I'm definitely stronger than I was because my way back then, lifting, strength training wasn't known to be as critical as it is now for brain health and longevity. And my cardiovascular ability, still pretty much the same. Obviously, I've had to keep working at it. That is very important because I teach and I coach with people a third of my age. So if I'm going to stay in the game, I need to stay relevant, continue to educate myself, keep myself informed about all the latest in wellness and exercise and nutrition because things change and they change fast. And most importantly, I have to keep myself fit. I can't let myself go. I can't stop working out. If anything, I have to push myself harder. And that's okay because I love it. At 65, I feel like I'm in my legacy years. Those are the years when you should begin to impart a lot of what you have learned, lessons about what went right and how you accomplished that, and maybe lessons about what went wrong and what you may have learned from that as well. Like they say, you learn a lot more from failures than you do from success. So I wanted to share just a few things that are in my mind and in my heart. I mean, this could be a 5-hour long video if I started to share all the things that I have learned and all the things that I have changed and those specific events that have shaped my life. And there are many. Because we are constantly changing, evolving, adapting. So here's just a handful of things. Okay. Let's talk about the inner quitter. You know the one. Never negotiate with your inner quitter. Over time, we tend to get better at recognizing the voice. When you were young, it probably spoke a lot louder. Sometimes it would probably just scream. And it didn't take much for your inner quitter to be very convincing. As we get older, we are more mature, better educated, and we know that what we should do and not do. Hopefully, we have built a foundation of discipline. Then at that point, when we're older, the inner quitter's voice is not as loud, but it tends to be a little bit more persuasive, even using some of your own knowledge and wisdom to influence your decision making. Why don't you take a rest day? You know how important it is. And you have been to the gym 2 days in a row, Arlene. That's a lot. Why don't you take 2 rest days? I mean, after all, you need to listen to your body. So I think a 3rd rest day is probably reasonable since you've been hitting it so hard lately. You've been eating clean. I am so proud of you. You've been doing great. How about a cheat meal? It's Saturday. It's Sunday. How about another cheat meal? After all, it's the weekend. All things in moderation, right? That's a bit of a subjective term, in my opinion, moderation. It just depends on who you ask. So don't listen to your inner quitter. It will keep you exactly where you are. Regrets. Regrets seem to be a big part of what we think about when we get older. And it is interesting because studies have shown that we tend to regret actions taken even if they fail, more for the short term, but inaction often seems to lead to greater and longer regret over time. Meaning that those decisions that we made where we may have actually taken some actions, but the outcome wasn't so great, where you can look back and say, well, at least I tried. We don't regret those for as long as opportunities that may have come and we essentially did nothing. Those we seem to regret longer. The chances we didn't take seem to be the ones that hit us the hardest and seem to linger. We seem to go from regret to grieving, having missed an opportunity, and we tend to just keep those longer. They hurt most. And for those, all you can do is remember that at the time you probably made the best decision that you could have made with what you knew, with the information that you had, and the timing and where you were in life. So it's important that you forgive yourself. Just let it go. It's always easy to look back. Just forgive yourself and move on. And sometimes it's tough to make peace with regrets. I have made peace with a lot of things that were consistently robbing me of my joy, keeping me stuck in a loop of pain. How did I make peace? On one side, I accepted it. It happened. And on the other side, I had to tell myself, I just don't care anymore. Sometimes we just have to dull our emotions about a specific event. Otherwise, it would just continue to torment you. But when you tell yourself, I don't care anymore, it stops having that effect on you. If you can learn how to divorce your emotions from a situation, you may be able to see it from a totally different perspective, because wounds and hurt, they don't attach themselves to logic. Purpose. You have to know your why. Why do you do what you do? Why is the reason behind investing your time, investing your money, investing your energy? It's the fuel that we need to push ourselves forward every single day. I have tried to minimize and take things out of my life that were not needful. They took of my time, my energy, and it just wasn't serving my original purpose, my initial why. Core values. I have learned not to betray my core values. I have always respected authority. I have always followed the rules. That is just the way that I am. I joined the military because that is part of my wiring. Until I am asked to betray one of my core values, like integrity. Integrity is at the very center of my character. It has been my driver and my pursuit. Any individuals that I may have admired, felt inspired by, were people of integrity. To me, it is one of the most attractive qualities anyone can have. That, coupled with humility. The strongest, most charismatic leaders, in my opinion, have been the ones that can balance integrity, strong leadership, and humility. While integrity is at the base of my character, discipline is the foundation of my nature. It's what builds and fuels consistency in my life, in a good way. There's a saying, to thine own self be true, because you have to live with you. And what do I have left if I am willing to negotiate who I am? And it's not easy to do this every time, because not everyone will understand. You have to be true to yourself. That doesn't mean everybody becomes collateral. It just means that you have to make the best decision possible based on integrity, your character, and your values. I've always pretty much been a go for it kind of person. I suppose when I was younger, a lot of my go for it moments were not well thought out. They were impulsive, and they ended up not yielding the results that I wanted. As I've gotten older, I am still a go for it kind of person, but I will take a step back and do my research. Wait for the right timing, because timing is everything. Assess risk. There's always going to be risk. That's life. But some risks are worth taking more than others. Some are not. Even with all the things that I did that may not have turned out right, I grew, I evolved, I knew what I had to do. Because I read somewhere that successful people know failure, and losers know regrets. So I have determined to pull the trigger when it's time, and if I fail, I fail. But at least I tried. I prefer that to forever wondering, what if I just tried? I believe that from the time we are born, each of us is creating something. Every action, every word, every habit, every decision is a legacy. And I heard a statement be made by that said, if your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids study the blueprint of your life, what would they build? Another cage, another cycle, another pattern? Or will they see a blueprint to an incredible, go for it, filled with many falls and many get-ups, many failures, but many successes, all of it resulting in a life well lived? I don't want for my life to be a blueprint of a cage, a tiny little space that may have appeared safe, but it was suffocating and limiting. I want the blueprint of my life to look like a free, joy-filled, full of adventure, amazing life. So here's to 65. Let's do this. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.